You're welcome. Okay, that's off. And all right. Yeah, I have the
Everything's set up, man.
everything I need is already set up. It's just
makes your life work like so much better.
yeah, I don't have.
Thank God I went to Harbor for it. Got one of these big impacts.
Yeah, they very convenient. I'm gonna stage the parts in the back of the van. One thing I noticed about these East Coast cars, though, a lot of rust.
A lot of rust.
A lot of rust. Yeah, like in California or the West Coast, especially the engines are. It looks like they look like brand new.
Damn, that's something I know.
Yeah, that's probably why they're more expensive.
It's crazy how fast you just knock that out.
In January we did our 3000. In January we did our 3000 2ZR engine. So. So I guess it'd be, the same job. If you ever wanted to upgrade from the Prius to something else, you get the CT200, the Lexus.
Really?
It's the same engine, same part numbers.
So was it just
shift points are lower, a lot more power. Suspension is a lot. It's upgraded. They feel amazing on the corner. My coworker has one. Oh yeah. You should ask to drive it one time.
Yeah, it actually is his wife's car, and he was driving an Impala V8. I said, "Oh, you loving it now because you love the gas and everything on it."
It still has great power.
Really?
So how long you been doing what you're doing?
Oh, I've been a cop for 10 years. Been at the university for 3 years now. I love it. I really don't want to. Don't get me wrong. If I went to another agency, it would be more transportation. Police is changing. A lot of things about to change. Policy, a lot of things about to change. So it's like
Is that part of the political thing that's going on?
A lot of things that's going to change because all the stuff that's happening. Police agencies' policy is going to have to change because so much shit. That's the truth. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But a shift is coming down. In another 2 years, all police agencies have to have body cameras. All. Legislation is already going out. They have to have it at a certain time. All have to have body cams. Because too much stuff is happening.
Oh yeah.
But that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It is.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing.
The only thing that affects is the budget.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So coolness training. Time for those. I have everything. All the singular pieces that I need. Great 60s, flat. Hammer for the hard job. Quite a bit lately. You really only need the 3 sizes. These are just 17 sometimes, 19, 10, 12, and 14. Actually, the whole car is 8, 10, 12, 14, 17, 19, 20, 19, 21, 22.
How long you been in the mechanic business?
Oh, 23 years now.
Can we trade time so I can have your retirement? So I get retirement.
Well, I don't get a retirement. One thing about being owning the company is that you don't really get a retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it gives you
Yeah.
Yeah, you own a couple houses and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, my wife, she's a teacher. She's been a teacher for 17 years. She's a teacher's name. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I know, you get crazy.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. Yeah.
For sure.
That's good. And that's a good thing about it is she's teaching the younger kids because older kids are like
She's taught all the elementary grades except for I believe 6th grade and 3rd or something like that. A couple grades she hasn't taught, but last year she was kindergarten. It's the hardest time teaching 8th grade because 8th grade math.
It's kind of like back and dealing with kids because they're coming to school and
Oh yeah,
different, you know. Yeah, yeah. I'd rather deal with the middle school, not middle school, but like elementary school.
Oh yeah. What was that?
You got here riding the whole.
Riding a 4-wheel?
Yeah, it just went down. I got a little dirt bike back there, and I got it. You know, I'm not good with dirt bikes. I got like 4 or 5 gears or whatever. And you know, you hit the clutch and you let off too fast, and it cuts off and jerks me. And I'm like, man,
Yeah, you used to.
that's not my life. I wish I would have got the 4-wheeler. I'm running here and see what she's doing.
Currently in Baltimore, working on one of Baltimore's finest, Prius. Actually, I just happened to be driving through the area. So that happened. Let's see if I can put this back on. Maybe I'll move it over a little safer now. This isn't really an instructional video, but do the wires next. The AC compressor, water pump, knock sensor, clip, throttle. All right, let's get the rest of these tins out of the way. Got the tank tins, AC bracket, ground wire, ground. This thing right here. Always make sure to unclip this and move it out of the way, because as you're reaching, you run the risk of breaking it. Just once it's out of the way, because these no store is really going to have this. There we go. All right, now get the gun and 21. Let's get the wheel hubcap. Wheel stuck on, so gotta convince it to come off. If you want to see what I'm working out of, actually, let's go this way. This is a Sprinter van. So I keep the tools. There we go. So I have a toolbox, inverter. Got I always keep extra EGR coolers, parts, supplies, carb cleaner, rags. Couple. Let's see here. There we go. A lot better. Always keep a couple good engines with me. That one right there is not so good. It's been replaced already. It's always best to keep engines, because when you take off the head and you measure the piston height, you'll know if it needs an engine or not. It's always better to have one. I know that's sort of a luxury to have an engine always, but the van's big enough it can carry it. So let's go downstairs and drain the oil. Got my Milwaukee. I like this Milwaukee because it's got a longer reach. It's a bit more expensive than the shorter Milwaukee that goes to about here, but that extra few inches matters. You guys know what I'm talking about. Huh?
Do you have a card?
No, actually I gave away my last one yesterday.
What's the name of the company?
Gasket Masters.
Gasket Masters? And you're
Yeah.
a mobile mechanic, I'm assuming?
Well, we just do head gaskets, really.
Man, I fucking just got fucked on this big time. The guy, somebody referred me, right?
Uh-huh.
Guy come out and charged me $400 for the gasket kit, which I found that's only $86.
Yeah.
It was $900 total. He tore it down. I don't mean to hold you up, but
Well, actually, no, 900 is not too bad of a deal, but you get what you pay for it.
but he only tore it down. He never came back.
Oh, you didn't pay me anything, right?
Yeah, I paid him $900.
Dude.
And he never came back. Well, I mean, he was referred by somebody, so I'm like, all right. Well, of course, like I said, $400 was supposedly for the gaskets, which I found out was $86. So you got $300 there.
It's always good to buy your own parts.
Yeah, well, I'm in business for myself 22 years. I don't make a lot of money off the.
Yeah, I see. I run a YouTube channel, and I live in California. This officer right here is actually one of my subscribers.
Oh, really?
I just happen to be making the tour out here, and then I call them and say, hey, it's really free.
But then nobody wanted to touch this fucking thing.
And once it's torn apart, what did you end up swapping the engine?
Well, no, I found the guy. Luckily, he had posted on Facebook. He was slow. He had his own shop for years. And the guy I know, and my ex-wife called, she was right slow. I thought, like, dude, I was out of work. Sitting around waiting. Nobody was fucking touching it.
Yeah.
And finally, he did it. He charged me $1,100, so $2,000 in.
Yeah. Well, overall, that's still, I mean, it's still not a bad price, you know?
It's not horrible. It's just like I looked at the national average for head gaskets, it said $800.
Yeah.
But I think like somebody said this was a tough job, so like I.
Well, you have two heads on this. So.
Right. I never thought of it like
Right.
that.
This one's just one head, for example.
Right.
And I keep engines with me all the time. You know, like I got a couple engines for the car right now.
Well, this was, even still it would be $1,400 to $1,600, not $2,200.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were like, I don't know, it's the payments, and that's, I don't raise my prices according to the job that we want or not. I do to an extent.
Well, yeah, as a mechanic, it's not that it's harder. It's just your automotive repair allots for the hours you can charge.
If I had a shop, I would do it myself because I just did the water pump and everything. So I had everything already a little bit more. I could have did it myself, but it was what it is.
Yeah, I love these trucks. These engines are actually some of the longest lasting engines for them.
They're bulletproof, so,
They're great.
These things running like a fucking. My uncle's 80 years old. Telling you, boy, that motor's shot. You're gonna blow a bearing or something because it's fucking beat. It's running like.
Nah, they're good. These blow holes out the side.
Really?
Yeah, if lucky right now, it's just the head gasket.
Well, you enjoy your day.
See, man. Just waiting for the oil to drain. Taking a nap down here. Now's where the magic happens. Let me get back to work. Sorry about the orientation. For some reason, YouTube's locking it. Can't turn the phone sideways. Now, I'm not tech savvy, so don't really care. All right, let's get these wires out of the way. Get 4 fuel injectors. I always take the 10 off right there. small standard screwdriver. Take these clips off, makes it a lot easier than trying to push on them with your thumb. This one gets a little tricky sometimes because the wires are in the way. It's very common to rip the wires out. You don't want to do that. There we go. Then the 10mm that's holding the wires onto the intake. Use a standard screwdriver on the same clip at the bottom where the map sensor is. It's easier to just pry it up instead of use your thumb and doing it. I'm going to do the 3 wires on the back side, the O2 sensor, the oil pressure, and the knock sensor. Not the knock sensor, the crank position sensor. Got those off. One last clip right below the timer chain tensioner. Now you can drape all the wires over. They stay pretty soft, so you don't have to worry about breaking any of the wires. I haven't really seen them get hard. Next will be the the 2 hoses on the intake. I know you can't see, but at the same time, I can't keep moving the camera. And undo the clip. And the clip there, just do the 2 hoses. One hose going to the bottom of the head. The other hose going to the top of the throttle, or the throttle housing. I'm going to close the radiator now so I can move the drain pan. Now there's 2 10mm bolts going to the side of the intake manifold. You're going to take those off from the EGR. Use a 10 gear wrench. These are the cheap little Icon from Harbor Freight. I mean, Harbor Freight has cheaper ones, but it's a pretty good price. Two 10mm. Make the job a lot quicker. I got the big DeWalt gun with the 12. I'll take off the 5 12s on this. 3 bolts, 2 nuts. Don't lose this clip. Undo the PCV valve hose. Now he was saying that when he was accelerating, there was misfiring at that time as well. So we gotta make sure that we're gonna clean out these 4 small holes. Not necessarily the large ones, just these small ones right there. That one's actually plugged up. We're gonna clean that out. Just use some basic carb cleaner. Spray down into the holes, let it come out. What I'll do is I'll soak it. I'll take the evap line. It fits right inside there. Lay this out for a second. Let me grab some spray. Now what I'm going to do, got the hose, I just bend it down. I'll spray down into this until I see the level coming up out of those 4 holes. And it's going to take a while, but what you're doing now is you're filling up this channel on the inside that's from the EGR. Keep filling it up. You're gonna look for the level coming out of those 4 small holes. Like that. All right, I don't know if you saw it, but a little bit of it sprayed up. Still filling it up. It's gonna take about half a can. You use carb cleaner or brake cleaner. I just use brake cleaner because the cans come larger. There we go. All right, now those 4 holes are level with the carb cleaner. I'm just gonna make sure that not to tilt this. Just lay it out. You're gonna let it soak until you're ready to clean it out. That'll break up a lot of that carbon buildup on the inside of the intake, or at least on the intake ports, the EGR ports inside the intake. All right. Next, you got the 10mm right there holding the wire. One thing about these East Coast cars, they have a lot of rust. Let's move the tank over. AC line bracket, gonna pop that off. There we go. I'm gonna move the drain pan for the coolant under or below the AC compressor because I want to take off this thermostat housing for the cooling system. A lot of coolant's gonna fall down. I don't want it falling on the ground and just creating a mess. This isn't my property. This is a 6-inch extension and a deep 10. There's 1 bolt and 2 nuts. 1 bolt, 2 nuts on the thermostat housing. One bolt's hard to reach. You got a magnet. Come to the back, grab it. See the valve cover next. You got the 12 for the evap line, and the 12 going on the side of the EGR cooler. Gotta love this gun. That's out of the way. Now time for the valve cover. Just use the gun with the short socket. I don't want to use a deep socket because as the bolt comes up, it might put pressure on the windshield. So put the 4 bolts for the coils. And now I do all the bolts around valve cover. That one, just leave it in the valve cover. Now time to convince this valve cover to come off. There's a good pry spot here. Sometimes it gets a little tight. This one, not so tight. Good to get the gasket out of the way. Now time to turn the engine to a position that makes my job a lot easier. You see some of the other videos, you'll see what I'm doing. There you go. Engine mount. Let's get this tank out of the way first. You got engine mount, you got a 14 nut sticking up. If you're going to do this job, or basically any mechanic, should always have a flex head ratchet. Long extension so you're not stuck busting your knuckles or something. 14 nut sticking up. Yep. East Coast cars, they're rusty. That's the nut right there. I'm using the larger gun, 1/2-inch drive, the 4-inch, 5-inch extension, 17mm impact socket. There's the engine fall down, or drop down. And these 3 bolts on the back end of it. Before I pull it off, I got a small gun with the 8mm. Taking the stud out. Next will be the 3 bolts on the engine mount bracket. Just loosen them up with the ratchet, then I'll use the Milwaukee to finish it. water pump. Well, they got 4 upper bolts on the water pump. Got the gear wrench, the Icon gear wrench. Because the AC line can't really get a power tool in there to do it, so I'm stuck just turning it by hand with my fingers. That's fine. At least this car's not as rusty. Yesterday I was in central New York. It was pretty rusty. Had a bunch of flies in my face. Guy lived near a river. These are power ratchets. Okay, got the 4 upper bolts on the water pump done. Let's change the orientation of this now. Alright. I don't know how much better you're going to be able to see. Got the 1/2-inch gun, little 3-inch extension, and the impact 12mm socket. Gonna move the coolant drain pan out of the way, and gonna put the oil drain pan back under there. First bolt I'm doing is the last bolt on the water pump. Spilled a little coolant, but that's fine. I can pull the water pump out. Spin just nice. So the water pump is still good. Now we're gonna attack all the 12mm bolts on the timing cover down here, doing the 4 on the oil filter housing last. You don't need a gun to do this, but it makes it easier. Now you notice that the timing cover bolts and the water pump bolts are actually different size. The timing cover bolt is longer. The water pump bolts are shorter, except for the 2 that are extra long. They don't mix them up. Time for the oil filter housing. Put the drain pan there because some oil is going to fall. Dump it out. See that? So next I got the harmonic balancer. out that wasn't an impact socket, but can't seem to find my impact 19mm socket. All right, so the harmonic balancer won't come off by hand. Usually they do, but so I'm going to use, let's bring this in a little closer actually. And stick it down a little lower. All right, I don't know if you can see, but now this won't come off by pulling it. Most of the times you can just pull it off, kind of like an old Honda, but it has these two holes right here. Okay, now normally I would just go get my my pullers, but I'm gonna show you a trick if you don't have the pullers. If you're not confident in doing this, please don't do it. You run the risk of cracking the timing cover. You got a small gun and the 12mm deep socket. You don't have to use a gun, you can use a ratchet. So I'll go in. Hey there. So you're gonna hit from this bottom until it touches the timing cover. And then so you can see it got pulled out just a little bit. And slowly, evenly, nice and even. See, it's coming out. Now once you get about halfway out, it'll get loose enough to where you should be able to pull it out. That's ideally you want to use the pullers, but if you don't have it, that's a trick to do it. Just showing a little trick. I got pullers in the van, but not everybody has them. I don't know what I'm going to record from this side. It's kind of like can't get a good angle. Maybe they make tripods that are just, you know, a little taller. Maybe about that angle right there, huh? Yeah, about that right there. Cool. But now it's in my way. Ain't that funny? About right there. So here's all. Oh, sorry. No, I was just giving a little dictation.
Oh no, it's all good. Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live, so okay. You know, if somebody wants to hang around and listen to the conversation, they can. But, okay, so I got the lower end off, lower bolts. Now time for these timing cover bolts. So I already got the timing set to where I want it. The timing mark sitting right at the 2 o'clock. And let's go ratchet and loosen up these 14mm bolts. There's 4 of them. Just gonna loosen them because I'm gonna use the Milwaukee to finish them. I don't need to loosen up the 12 because the Milwaukee's strong enough to just break them free. The timing cover will be off in about a minute. The good thing about this engine is you had an oil leak, so it's less rust.
Oh.
So which one are you going to root for, you know?
Where was it leaking from?
Looks like you had a timing chain tensioner gasket. It's leaking. That's fine. I'm gonna reseal that anyways.
Well, when I get another one, we'll come and flying back out here.
Yeah, I recommend getting a CT200 though. Those you have a lot of fun driving.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can take tighter corners in them. It's basically going to be the same.
Is it the same engine?
Same powertrain, yeah. Same exact powertrain, same model, same everything. Like those engines I have in the van will fit inside,
oh, wow.
you know, a CT200 or this. Now I got the 14s off. Time for the 12. There's 5 12mm bolts up top.
It goes right there.
Five of the timing cover bolts. These are actually the same size as the lower timing cover bolts. There's one more bolt for this timing cover. It's the 10mm. Now this 10mm is a little special. Actually has a small gasket on it. A lot of people will drop or they'll lose. So if you see this washer with rubber on the inside, that washer with rubber on this bolt, that's the timing cover. If you don't put that washer back on, it will leak oil. I'm not talking about like a little seepage. It'll just start dripping, drip, 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 drip. All right, now let's crack that timing cover off. Got a good pry point here. There's a cheap little big standard Harbor Freight standard. It's like $8.99. Comes as a 2-piece, but I never used the Phillips. So I'm gonna pry out and drop it down. Just pull it straight up. Avoid the windshield. Now this timing, with this cam at the 2 o'clock position, the time mark at the 2 o'clock, it's not going to turn. This one will turn. So I like to hold it with the 14 while I take off the swing arm. Drop the chain, just let it relax. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about them shooting anywhere. There's some of this old silicone, you'll be pulling this stuff off. Comes off like spaghetti sometimes. Now you have the timing chain guide. Actually, let's pull this timing chain off all the way. Timing chain guide. 2 12mm bolts. Same. Now time to do the nut and the stud for the EGR cooler. You have this nut, and you have the EGR cooler. There's a nut here, 12 millimeter. I'm gonna loosen that up, but we're not taking the nut off. We're just gonna loosen it because we have this 8 millimeter Torx bit on a quarter inch drive socket. And take the stud out. Forgive the noise if somebody doing some landscaping. This is what I'm talking about. This guy's gotta come off. These are Milwaukee, taking off only the 12 millimeter bolts. I'm just breaking them free. I'm actually not taking them off. This gun's a lot quicker at actually taking them off, but it's not strong enough to break them free. Now that all the 12s are loose, you get this little standard little pry point right there. Pop it up. Oh, I have one bolt. Weird. There we go. Like, what the heck? There, nice and loose. Now by only doing the 12 millimeter bolts, I can pull this whole thing up as an assembly. There's no need to actually take it apart. Some oil is going to fall on the back. That's fine. Now time for the roller rockers. Gonna have 16 of them. Sorry, I know my ugly face is in the middle of it. Exhaust is going to be next. You have the 3 bolts. A little rusty, so gonna loosen them up with a 6-point socket first. Ratchet. Always, if you got a bunch of rust on your car, always use a 6-point. Don't be using any 12-point. Alright, you know that that's loose enough. With a 12-point, you're more likely to round the bolt. Hurt. shrouds out of the way. We have 5 12mm nuts on the exhaust, 1 14mm bolt on the exhaust bracket that's actually attached to the engine, 2 12mm nuts on the back of the EGR cooler. We're gonna bust those out. You'll find the setup that feels right for you, but I use the Milwaukee with a little 1.5 or 1 inch extension and a 12-point deep socket 12mm. That's 3 of the nuts, 2 more. And 1 more left for the exhaust. Next is the 14mm bolt right below it. Remember, I always use the 12-point. Oh, sorry, the 6-point. Just the one. You don't have to take off all 3. Just the one going into the exhaust manifold. Sorry, I had to return a text message. Now let's take off this clamp, this little 1-inch hose or 5/8 inch or whatever it is, 3/4. These are pretty good. I like using these guys. Once I got the clamp off, I just squeeze and twist it. There we go. That works like a charm. Move this wire out of the way. This next part you're not going to be able to see, but it's doing the lower nut on that holds the EGR cooler in. I'm using the Milwaukee ratchet. This is another reason why I like the long. It's got the 3-inch extension and a deep 12. You're going to find your way into it. What's happening?
I'm here. Crazy how you tore apart this engine. That's fast.
Yeah, I wouldn't tear apart enough of them. Did you have trouble on that bolt at the bottom of the EGR cooler?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. This is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
It's already loose.
Oh, yeah.
Lost my extension. Yeah, I don't like using the ratchet on it because we don't have much swing room. Now the 2 nuts on the back of the EGR cooler. So I'll put some, I'll dip my finger in some oil, put them on the studs. These wrenches just make the job so much easier.
So you got the tools for the job.
Yeah, yeah. Get to the point where
Get to it.
you don't have to go back to the service van and get more tools out. You already know what you need.
Yeah.
It's just everything gets so much easier. Yeah, I had to head off in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Go and inspect it, inspect the pistons, stuff. It should be finger tight. Not finger tight enough. Oh, look at all this poop in there. A little bit of a go inside the on the top shelf. You'll see on the other side of the inverter, you'll see a box. Actually, the button on the back of the inverter, just flip it up. See the inverter, the big silver thing with the wires coming out of it? Yeah. Yeah, reaching back, you'll feel a switch. Flip it up.
Right here on the side?
Yeah, on the back of it. No, the silver thing. Big silver thing.
This thing right here?
Yeah. Reaching back, you'll feel a switch.
Right here?
Yeah, I heard it. Now keep going to the right. You'll see some gloves.
Oh, I see. This is cool, man.
Now this guy's nice and loose. Gonna pop it away from that stud. There we go. Be sure not to forget the fuel line. I use 2 hands for this because I don't want the gasket to fall. Be careful not to cut yourself on the gasket. It's pretty sharp. My helper Jack, when he first started doing these, every time he cut his hand, or at least many times, cut his hand on this thing.
Oh,
It's part of it sticks out. All right, next, 2 hoses, the engine coolant temp sensor, and the hose bracket bolt, 12mm, another one up top. So actually we'll do those next. I already have the setup for it. You can't see it, but it's down there. You got a feel for it. Like that. Good thing you don't have the splash guards here, so you can just let the bolts fall down.
Oh, okay.
How's your other Prius doing?
Oh, it's back there. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I say I will never do that job again.
Why not? The second time it'll take you less time.
No.
You just keep doing it. You'll get it in
yeah.
like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine. But yeah, I can imagine.
I love the convenience of, yeah.
Let me get this ready here. There's some more coolant's gonna fall on the back of the bin. Yeah, that's why I said I can just let them fall.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, yeah.
There we go. Now time for the head bolt. We're going to loosen up the head bolts from the outside and work our way in. That one's tight. There we go. See how it moves back and forth now? If I would have just kept doing it, you run the risk of breaking a head bolt. But I got the extractors and stuff, so. But if you don't have to do it, then.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
Going back and forth until you hear that second crack. I can that crack. Now I can easily just use all my muscle.
Muscle.
But yeah. See how it's more bouncy.
Yeah.
No, I know I can.
I see what you're saying now.
That one. It's already got the back and forth. That one's nice. That one's a little tight. So where do you patrol when you're doing the overnight shift?
I'm at a university in Baltimore.
Oh, the Untitled ones.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, last time I was here, I stayed on. I can't remember the name of the hotel. I stay in hotels all the time. On Baltimore Boulevard, I think is what it was.
Yeah, there's so much hotels around here that'll blow your mind.
Yeah, but just going on that street at night was like.
Oh yeah, you see some sights.
Yeah,
you see some things.
There's some entertainment there.
Oh yeah, I know. What day was it? A weekday or a weekend?
I don't remember. I just know the next day is when I saw you. But
oh man,
we flew in. We had flown in from the airport, and it was only like a 5-minute, 5-mile drive, I guess. But as I'm checking in, me and my daughter were like, yeah.
You know. You get to see some stuff, man. You get to see some stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I go to San Francisco at least like maybe once every couple weeks, you know, for the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, because there's a lot of cab companies out there. And so, you know, they have a lot of Priuses and stuff, so they'll give us a call. And where the taxi depot is in San Francisco, it's not It's not the touristy area, it's the industrial area. You know?
Oh.
A lot of homeless people, a lot of encampments.
Oh, yeah.
And when you see online them saying, you know, that you find needles on the ground in San Francisco, or, you know, human feces, they're not just talking about like every so often you might see it. It's like as you're walking down the street, you see it, you smell it. Yeah, it's, you know, I think they would address the issue more if it was like more in the touristy area, like Fisherman's Wharf or Pier 39 or something like that. But in industrial area, you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, so.
That's true.
I'm gonna set up my table now.
Oh, cool.
These, I just gotta pick them up by. The only thing I don't like in Honda when they have their head bolts, it's the washers and the head bolts are part of like one. You can't separate them. These, the head bolts will just fall out. Sometimes they'll fall on there. You can't find them. It just doesn't make sense. And a lot of times when you get the new head bolt set, they don't come with washers.
Oh my.
And not just Prius, but I mean cars in general. If it's separate,
In your opinion, like which doing a head cover gas, which part you like working on more?
Civic.
Okay.
Civics are like the easiest, you know, but I mean, no Civics don't last as long as these.
Yeah.
Like you can do if you have another head already ready to go, you can do the head swap on a Civic in about 45, 55 minutes.
Wow.
Well, I mean, the process that we use. We have a couple videos on like the 1.6 and 1.7. I'm gonna go get the table real quick. I brought a couple actually.
Change the core. What do you call it? A core? You take the core wherever you want to do.
Yeah,
Makes your life easy.
blurry. Yeah, well, you're gonna get one now. Not too bad. Really. You know overheating, right?
Huh?
You're not overheating yet? Yeah. A bad sign would be when the aluminum is really clean, like the inside of the cylinder looks like this. Then you know there's been so much coolant going in there, it's actually cleaning off the carbon. This carbon buildup, this stuff right here, that's normal. That's healthy. I mean, you're gonna have some carbon buildup anytime you're burning a fossil fuel.
Could you use like to keep your engine clean? Can you use like one of those things from
Like a sea foam or
yeah,
something like that?
or Lucas or
Yeah, I mean they'll work a bit, but there's there's really nothing wrong with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is,
Okay.
you know, you can clean it, and the very next tank it'll be dirty again.
Oh, okay.
Now I get my spray. This fan right here actually dries off my hands. Like a, so I can put the gloves on. I'll grab the straight edge in the middle wide drawer. Yeah, the clip's on the right side of the drawer. Your other right.
Oh,
Yeah, now move it in. There you go.
okay. What am I looking for now?
The straight edge. It'll say OEM tools on it. Yeah. Just take off that protective cover and just hold it up against the head. Be able to check and see if it's straight just from here to there. There we go. Nice and dry. Now, see how it's touching.
Okay.
You won't even be able to get a feeler gauge in there.
Okay.
I'm glad I left it closed. Yeah, we go over here. You run the risk. The head being warped and stuff. It changes the structure.
Gone.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like a.
Oh, like I'm in love with freaking intro gaskets now. Loving that thing.
But yeah. Let's clean this off a little bit. So I can get the grab another can.
I like when you turn the thing and then you were doing like this. You were saying if it doesn't move, then you know it's a vent thing.
Right, and also what you want to look for is this. If you see a clean one, that's what'll usually trigger me to check them.
Oh.
You know. I'll show you in a bit. I'm just gonna spray off some of this. Let some of that fall out. Yeah, by moving those back and forth, you'll be able to determine if it had hydrolocked at one point. Now, I'm not trying to clean this to make it clean. I'm just trying to clean off any pieces that might fall.
Oh, I got
so
you.
when it falls down, it'll fall like between the gasket and the head. And you don't want that. So I'll do that, then I'll just right in the eye. Yeah. Well. Oh, it's already gone. pistons. Put these back now. It's a 19mm bolt.
Yeah, look at this.
I can tell. Yeah, I can tell. Like, so I put these at top dead center. And check to see if the bolts are back here. I will in a second.
Like what's all that stuff like burnt? Like,
That's because the piston doesn't come all the way to the top.
oh.
So it's just when it combusts. Yeah, you clean it off, it'll be back on there in like 5 or 6 minutes.
That's aluminum? That's just all aluminum?
Well, this
Right here. Cast iron.
yeah, but it's block.
So like this whole thing is cast iron or just
This sleeve right there. Okay, so the top, you have to handle it. So you have this cast So this right here is aluminum. That's cast iron. The little gap, you're not gonna be able to see. The gap is right about here. So where the piston actually rides is going to be a little high carbon.
so what's the pistons? What's the is that the piston? What is this made? What is that made?
I'll show you. They're aluminum.
Oh, they're aluminum?
Yeah. You don't want to scratch it.
So on the other car, is it a big deal? I use this sealing, like this copper sealing without
Copper
that.
spray?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give it about a year. Yeah, and I only use a copper spray. A lot of the head gaskets that we do, when customers say, I just had it done, you know, like last year. You don't surprise the head off the copper spray. Because over time the copper spray has to press it down more to create gas.
Oh, whoa. All my problems are calling just getting a little bit to the black.
Maybe a year or two. gasket fails. What is cooling gasket fails? Cooling goes in, goes down the hot cylinder. Barely got scored. So we're leaving here yesterday.
We gonna blow holes in it. I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I even told him, like, I'm not gonna be surprised if you have a bent rod. But one of the curious things he was looking at me, one hour short. So by coming to the head off, and one piston was so clean, I was like I put it up that center, I moved it, like, oh, you got lucky. You didn't drag a lot. Just a small leak over time. Let me get another gasket. About 10, 20 of these just looking at all time. There is some text messages and comments because these head gaskets they don't fit flat. They're actually not supposed to. So we get some guys that do a Dremel and they'll open up that hole a little bit so it's flat. And then the wonder, you know,
We'll have them.
yeah, it's they're actually designed to fit like that.
Yeah. The missus is calling.
Oh, good luck. As I was telling the gentleman, these gaskets, they're not supposed to fit flat. They're supposed to come up a little bit like that. So don't worry. You get the alignment pins on, it's good. Jack up. Lining up with the exhaust manifold first, and then let it come straight down.
She wasn't even supposed to go to work today.
Oh, that's funny. Well, that's good.
I know.
All right. So. Keep the head bolt soaked in oil, so there's less creaking and stuff. Just need some of the washers.
Sweet.
So when you were doing yours, you were just doing it like
Huh?
when you were working on yours, you were just doing it like a part-time kind of thing.
Yeah, like it took me 6 months to complete. Did you know that?
No.
It took me 6 months to do the job.
Oh man.
Because I don't know, man. Also too, I was doing it when it was freezing outside.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Well,
you know, I'm not a pro like you are. And then I found you, and I was like, oh, I saw the video. I was like, I'm gonna attempt to do it.
Yeah, I remember those pictures you had sent.
You know. And then my girlfriend, she goes, you know, you can't do it. I said, you want to bet? I like to prove her wrong. It gives me motivation to prove her wrong.
You gotta practice OQP.
What's that?
You know what? You know who Les Brown is? He's he wrote a book called The Power of Purpose. He's a motivational speaker. Came up from nothing and stuff.
Yeah.
And he says,
I'm very driven and motivated.
oh yeah. So he says you gotta, if you have goals in life, you gotta practice OQP.
Okay.
Only quality people.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I'll tell you one thing about
somebody
her.
says you can't do it.
Like, with her, she challenges me, and I like it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because sometimes I think I work better under pressure. I get things done under pressure. It's
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, whenever I drive, I listen to a lot of Tony Robbins.
I heard him before.
Les Brown, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Les Brown, you know, it just seems energetic when he speaks.
I think a lot of people talk, but they don't want to put in the work. That's what separates a lot of people when they start doing it, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. You got the people who hit the snooze button 3 or 4 times before they get up.
Yeah.
Now, when I tell my daughters, like, you want to get up the first time the alarm goes off? First off, you shouldn't need the alarm. But you put that alarm on the other side of the room.
Oh, okay.
You got to get up.
Oh, got you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to get up and turn that off.
Got you.
You know, I grew up in group homes, foster homes, all that stuff.
You know what's crazy? I was a foster kid.
Oh,
I
yeah?
was in the system at 5 and I got out at 21.
I was at 8 and I got out at 7.
And I was in, 5. I went in the system at 5, got out at 21. Different group homes. And what's the statistics of black male in the city? Not good.
Not good. Now look at
Not good at all. Now look at me, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it was crazy because I went back to one of my old group homes and the guy, he was flabbergasted. He called me his name, whatever they called me, Hop something. He's like, I'm giving you a job. You need to show these children, blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah.
I said, I would love to do it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm so busy, but, you know.
So what I'll do is whenever it comes time to, so quarterly, I gotta file taxes
Yeah.
because we're an S Corp.
Yeah.
I'll tell you second.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
It's 36 foot-pounds now,
Yeah.
90 degree. Basically from 3 to 6.
Gotcha. Sounds good to me. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll donate 10% of our revenue after costs to them, and it kind of helps them because with new California regulations there.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about getting a foster child, like a boy or a girl?
I was thinking about it, but
Oh,
we have 7 kids now. You know, it's funny because I've never actually when I was 8, I was put in foster care.
Yeah.
But then I ended up just going to group homes. You know,
Yeah,
group homes a little different than foster care because you're around a bunch of other fucked up kids just like you. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And but there were some kids that were getting adopted. I'm like, I want to get adopted.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But never happened. But next
Yeah.
thing you know, and I wasn't an idiot.
Yeah.
I know. I graduated 2nd grade. I graduated 7th. I skipped 2nd. I skipped 7th. And so I just turned 17 and I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And then the day after graduation, one of the counselors comes into the room.
Yeah.
Like, you got to pack your stuff. I'm like, oh, where am I going? That, you know, he's like, I don't know, but you can't stay here anymore. The state's not paying for it. I'm like, but I'm not 18. They're like,
yeah,
but you graduated.
Whoa, they put you out a little.
Yeah.
I stayed till I was 21.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Us men, us boys, we're not mature yet.
Oh yeah. So I mean, the high school I was graduating from had something called sober grad, whereas if you buy a ticket to go, and at the end of the night, now it's a huge high school, small town, but only one high school. So the high school was actually pretty big. So they're raffling off a car. If you get tickets to go to sober grad night, you stay the whole night. At the end of the night, they raffle a car. Whoever, you know, they put the tickets in there.
Oh wow!
And I won it.
Isn't that something?
The very next day, they're like, "Okay, you're out." And I'm like, "So I'm living in this car. I've never driven in my life, and it's an '88 Camaro. It's a stick shift."
Whoa.
And I'm like,
God must have.
and I'm like,
That's how
I got a place to stay.
I
Sweet.
know.
So I'm just, you know, where I graduated from was a little town called Turlock, California. When I was growing up as a younger child, we lived in the Bay Area, like Oakland, Antioch, Pittsburgh, all, you know, the Bay Area in California. So I'm like, well, see if I can go find out where my parents are living, you know. Well, at least my mom. I don't know. I ain't seen my dad since I was like 7.
Yeah.
He's a monster, anyways.
Yeah.
And so I just go back to the Bay Area, and I'm like, I'm driving around, and I didn't have any money for fuel, but I had a gas can and a hose, and so I found a pizza place hiring. They didn't check to see if I had a license, but
you were rolling. Yeah,
they needed a delivery guy,
so they don't care. It's like,
so I'm like a little young 17-year-old white kid delivering pizzas in Oakland, and I'm like, you know. Nothing ever happened, so I was happy.
Yeah.
You know, I think they were just happy to get their food.
Yeah.
So about 6 months, and one day, I just happened to see these couple Marines walking down the street.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were Marines. I just saw 2 guys in uniform.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, you guys in the military? They're like, they're looking at their own uniforms, like, you think?
Right. Yeah.
I want to join. He's like, how old are you? I said, I'm 17. He's like, you need your parents' permission. And I said, I kind of broke down right then and there.
Yeah.
I said, I don't have parents.
Yeah.
So he like, scoot over. He gets in the car. He starts driving.
Yeah.
And we go straight to the recruiter's office. He's like, I'm your dad today. So I was happy, dude.
Yeah.
Boot camp, it was so hard for a lot of, I say kids, because some of them were still 17, most 18, 19. Because they ain't been away from home,
but you were already.
Really, oh, dude, I was loving it.
See, because you know why?
All I gotta do is just do what I'm told.
I thought I was gonna be an agent or something. She got me. Trust me. I thought I was gonna be an agent because like.
You thought you were gonna be what?
Like an agent or something. Like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Like just off the grid doing my own thing.
Yeah.
She kind of lulled me in because I'm used to being independent and being
Yeah.
alone. You know. It's because when you're in the group homes, you're isolated. You know.
Yeah, and the problem is, you know, I have this theory called it's the rock theory. Everybody in their life, there's a rock involved. It's either you're the rock or you have a rock.
Okay.
Whereas parents, kids rock.
Yeah.
But a group home is tough. Imagine being a counselor that cares.
I can only imagine because I remember it was like 3 different tiers. You had the guys that were like older, they were on the top floor. I'm trying to remember, was I on the bottom floor? I think I was on the bottom floor from like maybe like 7, you know, they had different tiers anyway. But I made really good friends with one of my counselors. He was a teacher.
I got one.
He was my teacher, man. It's cool.
But I can,
yeah.
But I can imagine. So as a kid, you go around, you're looking for somebody to attach to.
Yeah.
You know, it's just natural.
Yeah.
But the problem is, with the counselors, they have their own families and everything.
I know.
And as a kid, you're like, some days that counselor that you attached to didn't come.
I know.
So you're stuck just like some ship in the sea with no anchor.
Yeah.
You're just wandering.
I know.
And occasionally you get lucky and you get like a counselor.
Yeah.
It takes your places and things like that. But I can imagine so many kids don't.
Do you know, I personally believe, me personally, when I was like around 5 years old, I always felt like I was in tune. And I said, if there's a God in heaven, I said, save my soul. First, I said, take me back. I don't want to be here. Because I was aware. I call it situational awareness.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this stuff is effed up. Like, my mom can't take care of me. You know, why we're going for different places for food. Like, this is crazy.
Going to the church.
Yeah, like I was like, this is not normal. And I was just like exposed to a lot, so I felt like I was ahead of my time. Like I could see where I was at 20. It was like some crazy stuff. And when I reached that 20 age, I surpassed that where I was going to be at. And yeah, I made some mistakes along the way, financial ruins, had money, messed it up. Still learning today, but I had this fortune cookie that says, success will taste so sweet without failure as an appetizer. Yeah.
If you ain't failed, you ain't trying.
Yeah, exactly. So now, mistakes you made, things you go back, you're like, I'll never do that again. And I think I never really got in trouble because I was like, who's gonna come get me? Like, who's gonna get me out? So I was always serious.
Yeah. I was lucky enough, and I guess some group homes they don't do that. But, to be able to go to public school.
Yeah.
As a high school student, and I made a lot of friends. In school, but as I got older, I realized that the friends that I did make, they were fuck ups.
I know.
And I see some of them on Facebook now. And like one of my best friends in high school, he's like some homeless guy bragging about.
Do you think too? Sometimes when you go through adverse conditions,
OQP. Yeah. But go ahead.
When you go through adverse conditions, like you know that you're not in a position where you can mess up. Like you have to create something to where you can stand on your own because you know when you get out there, it's just gonna be you.
Yeah.
And that's why I work so hard. That's why like I'm making over her because I know nobody's gonna.
Some of the people that you deal with, you ever sit and talk to them and say, you know, like wonder how did you end up this way? And then some of them are like, it's the way I was brought up.
Like I'm a workaholic. That's all I know because like that's how I'm geared.
Like you end up in trouble in life, and you blame it on your upbringing. Yeah. But so you have these two guys, both coming from the same scenario, the same parents. You know, so these twin brothers. Yeah. Dad's a drunk or a pedophile, and mom's like just using drugs as an escape the whole life. One guy grows up to be a total fuck up, and be a drug addict. The other guy grows up to be a success. You know, and you ask them, what was your driving force behind the way you ended up? They'll both give the same answer. I watched my parents. One, I watched my parents and became like them. Mm-hmm. One, I watched my parents and decided I didn't want to become like them. They can give the same answer.
That's a good one because my brother, just watch him. He used to sell drugs, but they took me away from that, and I said, I didn't want no parts. In Baltimore City, I didn't want no parts of that. I didn't want no parts of that. And it's funny because when we lived on top of a laundromat, right? And I used to hear bullets, and I used to get underneath. I said, I want to be a cop.
Yeah.
It was in me It was in me from 5 years old.
Yeah.
I just thought I never could be one because of my circumstances. So
isn't that something? Isn't it funny? My daughter, she just now, she's 19, but she was in the Explorers, not the one,
not the cadet program,
not the one you met. No, she was in. Okay. She's already graduated. Okay. She's joining the cadets in August, and it's gonna be easy for her because she's the sheriff every day. You know, he knows who she is.
She's gonna be in command. She's gonna go through the ranks really fast.
But she can't. I guess she can't do anything yet until she's like 21 or something.
Yeah, so basically, I call them grooming. She already been through the Explorers.
4 years.
Explorer program already. Now she's getting set up for the cadet program.
And she was running the Explorer program. It's so funny because I'd make fun of her.
She's gonna be in leadership.
She would fall asleep with the scanner on, and she knows her codes. I'm like, how do you know this stuff?
She's already groomed. Like
sometimes,
which is sweet. It's gonna be easy for her.
Like one day, it was like, I don't know what the code is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like I remember. Yeah. But I knew at the time. I was like, I said, "What's this?" You know,
Yeah.
throughout free 458, and she looks at me like a weird face, like, "Yeah, pedophile."
See, it is what it is.
I'm like, "Hey, you remember this
it's,
stuff?"
It's like a part of you. It's a lifestyle. It is what it's the truth. It is what it is. You can't knock it. You know. So, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think she's gonna be set. My middle daughter just started going. Not started going. She in August or September, whenever this class starts.
Mm-hmm.
College. She wants to be a teacher, like her stepmom.
That's cool.
And you know, I've had 3 marriages.
Mhm.
First marriage, I got married because I was alone.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got out of the Marines. Boom, back to being homeless.
Okay.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's, of course, you know, I never at any point did I say the world was screwing me.
Yeah.
I realized everything that was wrong with me
Yeah.
as an adult,
Yeah.
as a result of my own decision making. There's a saying, I don't remember who said it. I think it was probably like Dale Carnegie or something like that. We're all self-made. Only the successful will admit it.
Ooh, I love that. I like to me. You know, you play solitaire. You can. I love a messed up hand because I like to work that hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's all up to you. It's the choices
it's-
you make, really.
Yeah.
The decisions you make.
and
the moves you make.
And, you know, it's people say you got lucky because right, you know, we're doing about 60 or 70 of these cars a month.
Uh-huh.
You know, so people will comment, dude, you're getting a lot of money. Well, how are you doing?
But
Like,
somebody
dude,
made
you
a
know how
say-
much of that is payroll? You know how much of that is fuel and rent and
They
you know,
don't think about all that stuff, but
Yeah.
I heard somebody say like, how's the saying going? I don't even know the saying, but I heard it before. It was really good. The money comes after everything else. You get what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
money is just I forgot how you
do what you love, the money will come.
come. Yeah, it's just that's just come. It comes and it's just, okay.
Yeah. And it's so weird. So I'll look on my
Uh-huh.
not knocking anybody on my Facebook. I'm not. But people will complain about their situation on Facebook. They'll say, you know, they have nothing but bad news and you know everything like that. And
So I'm not into social media. I don't have none of that stuff. I don't.
you know, but it always comes back to
I enjoy working, providing.
yeah, you're the result of your own decision making.
Yeah.
Whether good or bad.
That, yeah. I love working hard and like I really enjoy it. I'm in my own world when I can just work, even in the simple things, because I know where I come from.
Uh-huh.
So, McDonald's, working Burger King, pushing carts. From there, got certified doing welding. Always had a desire to be a police officer, and then got in.
What was your final? What was your first step on the right direction to becoming a cop? Like
And you'd be surprised.
meeting an officer and saying, "Hey, where do I go?"
I
Or-
wanted to be a state trooper. That's really what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a state trooper because I like the interstate. I like being wide open the road.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble in Charles County for street racing, and I got charged with reckless endangerment. The day before I could actually apply to become a cadet, and the trooper goes, "It's not that you can't be a trooper. We want to see how bad you want it." And that time, I had to wait 4 years to get a misdemeanor reckless endangerment charge off my record. And then that's when it went away, and I got on with the sheriff's office.
Oh, nice.
But from the sheriff's office, what I liked about the sheriff's office, being in the court system, you actually get to see another side of it. Because people always see on the street.
Yeah.
But when you
it's
go to
not
court,
different than the police.
you get to see both angles of it. And I'm just like, wow. Like, you know, and of course, too, in our minds, I'm always thinking, I'm a person that always thinks, you know? So I was just like, okay. Like, it's one thing to be a police, but when you're on the other side of the law, you're on this side of the law, you're actually putting on punishments and I'm like,
Yeah, now
whoa.
you're on the care side.
Yeah,
as well.
it's like, you know.
You're not
so
just
much different-
arresting
yeah, it's
people
so
and
much
taking them to
different
the
angles.
county and dropping them off.
And I always said I wanted to be in law enforcement. I never said I wanted to be a cop. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be in law enforcement. There's so much umbrellas on the law enforcement, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm gonna go in there and I think I had some plate of food. I'm gonna go get that off before she goes in there and what nip she, you know? She's so clean. She's so clean. My girlfriend. She's
Dude,
like,
my wife.
she's
One-
she's amazing. I'm so
Sometimes
glad.
she'll send me pictures of crumbs that I left on the table. She's like, "What are these?" And I will zoom in on the picture and I'm like,
Do you want me to show you my
You mean
text
those
message?
5 crumbs?
Do you want me to show you things? But I love her because she like so clean, man. She just keeps me together. I love that woman, man.
Yeah, she's helped me. I've had girlfriends before. You know, when I was doing this,
Uh-huh.
when I first started doing this on my own,
Yeah.
I had 3 daughters.
Uh-huh.
Just and I met up with an old friend from high school. And
Yeah.
we decided, you know, let's date. And
Uh-huh.
we moved in together, and
Yeah.
the job I was promised before I was moving ended up saying, "Oh, you know what? You can't start." I'm like, the union's on strike. There's a hiring freeze.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? They're like, I don't
Uh-huh.
know. Well, I'm like part of the union, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, you didn't start your first day. So I went from a promised job of being a crane operator
Yeah.
to just now jobless in a new house, $1,000 a month rent.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was able to go to freaking Walmart.
Uh-huh.
This is like 15 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I was able to go to Walmart and get a job changing oil and tires. The thing is about Walmart, a lot of people think, and I was able to get another job from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. working at Circle K. Both jobs paid like $7 an hour.
Yeah.
And now my girlfriend's sister had worked at Walmart, was making like maybe 40. She's like one of the managers.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it goes there. And I knew there was not going to be a future for me at Walmart. It was just a temporary job. So I get up in the morning. Well, I don't get up in the morning. I get off work at Circle K and I go straight to Walmart. So I'm working 16 hours a day at $7 an hour. No overtime. It was 2 separate jobs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think Walmart, they'll come in and they'll have their car overheat and something like that. They think, oh, I just need oil change or something like that. And I'm like telling them, no, it's not. Now, I'm not allowed to tell them that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because it puts Walmart on. So I got some cards made. Like, see me after work.
Okay.
Call me after work. Next thing I started getting a lot of phone calls.
Uh-huh.
Luckily I had a big backyard, big cement slab. I'm working on cars on
Yeah.
the side. And one day I wake up, I'm off from Circle K, but I'm not off from Walmart. So I was able to sleep at night. I get up with the alarm clock, and I'm like, I don't want to go to work. I have this Civic in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I can make $250
Yeah.
on that Civic, or I can go to work at Walmart and make 56.
Yeah.
So I get up, I decide right then and there, I'm quitting. So I get up, I get dressed, put on my Walmart uniform,
Yeah.
go to work, and I'm working from 7 to 8. Once I know HR comes in, I walk in the back and I quit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me it was all dramatic. She's like, I don't care, you sign this.
Yeah,
you know, There's 50 more like you.
Yeah.
So I go home, I start working on the Civic in the back,
Yeah.
and my girlfriend walks out. Now, she had 4 kids.
Uh-huh.
She had 4 kids, I had 3, and she decided, you know what, and she wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was the only one working in the whole house.
Uh-huh.
Not even a good job, or 2 good jobs. She comes out, she's like, what are you doing home? I'm like, I was scared to tell her. I said, I quit. She's like, why the fuck did you quit? I'm like, I can make more money doing this. She's like, but Walmart's guaranteed. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's guaranteed $7 an hour.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do for $7 an hour? She's like, you could go up the ladder like my sister did. And I'm like, your sister's been there for 20 something years. She's making maybe 35, 40. Who the hell wants to make that?
Yeah.
She's like, you need to go back now. I'm like, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not. I can make more doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I know these engines, you know, I know how to fix cars and people are paying me.
Yeah.
She's like, and it reminds me of it. So I won the argument, but I lost the relationship. You know, we still live together.
What they say? You won the battle, but you lost the war.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was one of those. You gotta start from the bottom and make your way up, and you gotta. There's a saying, Jim Rohn talks about: if you don't make plans of your own, you'll fit into someone else's plans.
Ooh.
You know, and
I
that.
can
and,
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I don't make plans of my own,
you'll fit.
I'm gonna be subject to whoever my boss
Yeah.
schedules for Saturday or something like that. So I decided I'm gonna make plans of my own. So and next thing you know, I started getting busier and busier, and I was able to. I broke up with her, and then I met my my current wife, and every girlfriend I had, even wife, I had. I always felt like they relied too much on me. Like I wanted an equal. I didn't want to be supporting other people, even though husbands and wives support each other and stuff like that. But it felt like I was the only one trying. But my current wife, she was set. She makes good money. She didn't need me. She wanted me. Big difference. So I was able to continue working. I was able to hire someone else. Now I'm
That's amazing.
now I'm able to have my own shop, and I have those vans that cost like 40 grand. That one right there costs 15, but I have another one costs like 45. It's
Cool.
be able to send other people out.
That's cool. That's something. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, like you don't make plans on your own. You fit someone else. And what do they have planned for you? Not much. You fit into someone else. This is plans. I was listening to Jordan Peterson. You know who that is?
No.
Okay. He's a former Harvard professor, real smart guy. He gets attacked by the media a lot, but he stands his ground. He talks. He's referring to someone else who had said, "We're all part of a story, and whether you admit it or not. And if you're part of someone else's story, odds are you have a small bit. And if you don't know that you're part of their story, you probably won't like that bit.
Oh, man.
It's like the good thing about life is we're all gonna die.
Yeah,
We're
all gonna die. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's inevitable.
And look at you. If you what job before becoming a cop? What job did you have that you knew you really weren't gonna keep?
What job did I have that I knew I wasn't gonna keep?
Yeah, what job were you like? This is just a stepping stone job.
I would say even like pushing carts. I thought it was gonna be a meat cutter.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a meat cutter at Sam's Club. Because I was in the rotisserie section of it. Because I went from pushing carts to they brought me indoors, boxing down, doing on that. You know how like the warehouses in Sam's Club, you put the merchandise up and stuff like that.
You're stalker.
So from that, I went to the freezer, and then from there, I went to rotisserie. And you talk to the guys that are cutting meat. They're like, yeah, you gotta be a apprenticeship, this and that. And then from there, I went to
work at that.
When I was in high school, I was in an apprenticeship program. I was doing welding. And that
Oh,
was
nice.
Good. So I wasn't cut out for that. I mean, I got offers to go to some place doing underwater welding and all this kind of stuff.
I got 6G certified, and then 6 months after I got 6G certified, because I was one of the mechanics at a sugar factory in California, and that's where I got my crane operator's license. And I was one of the house mechanics. We had a lot of forklifts.
Yeah.
So the factory's over 100 years old, so being a mechanic, you're busy.
Yeah.
So they had the 6G test. You put the pipe on the vise, and you cut the pipe, then you grind it, then you fit them, then you get good penetration.
Yeah.
6 months after it becomes 6, the factory shuts down. So I'm like, oh my God. But you knew that job was a stepping stone. Did you see? At what point did you realize I'm not going to stay?
Wasn't my heart's desire. I knew I was going somewhere. I just didn't know when I was going and what time I was going, but I knew I was just passing through.
You meet somebody who got a job like that, ended up, and not meaning to stay at it very long, but ended up 10 years later still at the same job.
Oh, that was never. Yeah.
You ever meet somebody who did that?
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah.
So a lot of people fail in life, not because they aimed too high and they missed. A lot of people fail in life because they aim too low and hit their target.
Oh yeah.
Next thing you know, 10 years goes by, that part-time job that you didn't really mean to stay at became full-time job, and maybe you had some kids or something like that. Life got in the way, and you just settle.
Yeah.
And if you don't not have goals, the thing about goals is nobody else is gonna make them for you. Nobody else is gonna. You sit next to somebody. You write down 3 goals of your own on a piece of paper, and they're writing down 3 goals of their own on a piece of paper. What are the odds that, and when you switch, it's gonna be the same? It's not. Nobody else is gonna make your goals or is gonna achieve your goals. But too many people are scared of trying. They never start. Mike Tyson said,
Yeah.
if you try and fail, congratulations. Most people don't even try.
That's crazy. Sure. I like it.
You know, I've always wanted to have my own mechanic shop. Always. You know, and the funny thing is, I never wanted to be a mechanic.
I just like the way it looks. Like, I'll give you an example. When I work part-time at Walmarts and stuff like that for doing their security detail, and I go inside their bays, I was like, this is nice to have a facility, just something even like that. They even put their car up on, and I get excited just thinking about it, you know?
Yeah.
Not to say that I want a mechanic business, because I don't.
Oh, yeah. It's fun to do.
Yeah, but I would just like a place where I can just work on things, you know, just simple things like struts and, you know, picking my tires off.
Yeah.
Things like that, you know?
It's fun to have tools.
Tools, yeah, that's all it is.
And it's funny because that's the difference between men and women. That's the difference. People say,
Or a garage, you know, a garage in the back of my, you know?
yeah,
I could drive my car up and just have my fun, you know, and go on YouTube and have a little, you know, because I got an air compressor, I got a nice one, you know, at my uncle's house down the road. And that's my dream. I could just mess around in a place where I can build stuff and just, you know.
yeah. One thing I see is a lot of people
Yeah.
today. They're complaining that there's not enough women in the STEM in STEM, you know. But it's inherently it's just men are more geared towards gaining things, whereas women are more geared towards gaining people. That's why there are more women in the care fields, like nurses, doctors. My wife in general is a teacher. You know, it's not because society finds it, but as a kid, before you're like 7, 8 years old, odds are your babysitter is a female. Odds are your teacher is a female. You know, if you're from a fatherless home, your sole parent is a female. Which
Isn't that funny? Like, that's so true, because mostly when I was small, caregivers for me were women.
Yeah, and people are talking about this, you know, the toxic masculinity or something like that, which there's probably some out there.
Mm-hmm.
But by and large, the most care you get in the younger ages are from the women. You know, it's not trying to find what makes us all the same. It's appreciating what makes us different.
Gotcha. Let me go here and eat the rest of this food for this one.
Oh, do you think, man? No, you guys didn't sign up for that. I'm gonna take out this 2 10mm bolts. Let's move the camera over here. There we go. Sorry about that. 2 10s right there. I'm gonna change the timing chain gasket. Timing chain tensioner gasket. It's starting to rain a little bit right now. So I might have to put the canopy up. There we go. Clean that surface. Put a nice bead of silicone on the timing cover. Make sure you clean off the old silicone first. Make sure there's no oil residue that prevent the silicone from adhering to the machine surface. You get it. fresh tube, ultra black, Permatex. Don't need a silicone where the O-rings go. I'm going to double check, make sure the timing marks did not move. We have a video on the timing marks, so just click on the video and you'll see the marks I'm looking at. Once I verify all the marks are still in the same place, time to drop this timing cover in. There we go. Hold it in place with that 10mm bolt that had the washer attached. Sorry, didn't realize it was on my face. There we go. There we go. Time for the Milwaukee. Do the 12s. Timing marks still look good. Now I'm going to change the gasket on the timing chain tensioner. Pretty self-explanatory. Might end up pulling the canopy. Starting to drizzle a little bit. know in a few more minutes whether I need to or not. There you got the new. There we go.
I should have. What time did you start?
Oh, about 15 minutes after I texted you.
Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be ready to start up in about, I don't know,
Well, we're definitely
45 minutes.
We definitely could take a trip to wherever you'd like to go eat.
You know, it's funny. I haven't had a single carb since last Saturday.
Wow.
Not a single one. I bought a new scale,
Okay.
and I stepped on it, and then I got depressed. You know, I used to be a boxer and a cage fighter, so I cut weight a lot.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, and for the past 8 years, been happily married.
Right.
And, you know, you gain weight,
Yeah.
and so I do a lot of driving. So I got on the scale, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Man, it creeps up on you. So I got this book called The Blood Glucose Diet.
Whoa.
And
Okay.
it's basically like the Atkins diet.
Uh-huh.
Like when I was fighting, about 2 weeks before I would actually fight or before I'd weigh in, my diet consisted of mostly like boiled chicken and steamed broccoli with a bunch of hot sauce. You know, I love the hot sauce. And so basically, it's what I'm doing now. I'm not eating. I'm just eating.
No carbs. Okay. We don't need carbs. You really don't.
You don't.
Yeah. You don't need
You know,
carbs.
we don't need the glucose type carbs. Like potatoes, your body turns them into glucose. Anything that produces insulin, anything that causes your body to produce insulin, according to the book, is
So what
gains fat.
Okay.
So I was at Sizzler the other night. Fat sirloin steak.
Yeah.
You know, some broccoli, zucchini, and squash.
Okay.
I was content. I didn't have any breads. I didn't have any potatoes. I have a sweet tooth. That's the thing. That's my problem. I got a big sweet tooth. And I noticed every time that I did need, that was feeling kind of, I got my protein in there. I have a scoop of protein and some water, you know. And over the past week, I feel better.
You feel better?
Know. I don't know what I weigh. Haven't been home yet. But we'll find out. I don't know if it's working or not. I'll find out. But if it's anything like I used to do, I know it works. You know, remember when I said OQP earlier?
Yeah.
Only quality people. You know Sidney Poitier is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he wrote a book called The Measure of a Man.
Okay.
And in the book, he talks about when you're walking with somebody, something happens, and it's unspoken. I'm quoting Les Brown in this. You either adjust to their pace or they adjust to yours. So I think about those friends that I had in high school. If I had stayed around them after high school, back when they started doing the drugs, and that, would I have started becoming like them, or would they have started becoming like me? I didn't want to stand.
Chance, yeah.
Practice OQP, you know. And it sucked because I didn't feel comfortable hanging around them.
You know.
And which caused me to live my early adulthood, without many friends.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that. I mean, look, especially too for me with law enforcement. I mean, you're already, your pool of people are already shrink as it is too.
Yeah, but you gain a whole nother pool of people, don't you?
I had a friend of mine. Was in high school. He was like, what did he say to me? It messed my head up. He said some derogatory thing to me. He was like, "You're a fed, fuck you," or something. I said, "Oh my." I said, "Oh my." I'm still selling. I just serve. I just serve in public. Like that's how you view me.
Oh yeah. Oh, they don't matter.
Yeah, I know.
You see what's going on in Minneapolis right now?
Oh,
It's sad.
yeah. He's like, "Fuck." I was like, "Oh," I felt it. I was like, "That means you would kill me." Like, I'm just wearing. You don't like law and order. You want chaos?
Yeah, go ahead, live in anarchy. See how you like it.
Yeah. I like law and order. I just like. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I realized that.
Didn't really hang around very much.
Yeah, I said that's where I'm at now. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Listen to that. I'm gonna quit that. Tighten up those 2 12s in the back. That's so funny because you could have easily just, if you did decide to start doing stuff, people would understand. Well, he grew up in group homes and foster homes. You know, he had a bad hand.
When I tell people that,
would actually just write you off and not even blame you.
They don't. Yeah, but when I tell, they're like, "Are you serious?" They don't believe. Like, I'm like, "Yeah." Like, no, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, it's so easy to just to just take the easy route.
What I do believe is God put me through that because now I can relate to somebody else's story and I can say, well, I was there and look, so there's no,
Yeah, so what's your
excuse? Yeah. No excuse. I tell you one thing that touched my heart. I was at the sheriff's office and this white kid, he was, how was he? He had to probably be like 15. Handsome looking guy. He had a black girlfriend, really cute girl too. And we got to talking and come to find out, he was in foster care. And I told him, I said, okay.
He's currently or
no, he is. So we got to talking, and I told him, I said, do you know I was in foster care? And he didn't believe me. I said, yeah. And I said, look at me now. I was in full uniform, right?
Yeah.
And I said, you see that young lady there? I said, how old are you? I said, you need to focus on getting your socks. You guys all in love and stuff, kissing on each other. But I said, you know how hard it is. You don't need to have no child right now. I told him that. And we had a good conversation. And do you not know?
Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah. I didn't sit that post that day, and somebody else set that post. That young man came back looking for me, and the deputy told me about it. I started tearing up because I impacted him that much to where he came back for me. You get what I'm saying? So I realized that he could relate to me. So if you haven't been through some things, then somebody can't relate to you. So yeah,
Wish I was
looking for me. Yeah, that blew my mind.
Wish I was better at oratory and speaking.
Yeah,
I'd love to help people. But you help one at a time, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But then again, you can only help people willing to listen.
That's what it is. I realized that I'm only gonna extend mine to somebody that's willing to, because a lot of people, they're doing their own thing that they don't want to put that into action. You
People don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
There's a Bible verse. Don't cast pearls before swine.
Ooh, okay.
Like if they're not listening to you, stop talking.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say, God opened these doors for me. Like seriously, all I do is show up. I said, I said, you have it so easy. Like your girlfriend's at work and say, they said, what they say? Oh, what they tell her? Something like, you could work part time, this and that. Because you got Selvin or something like that. She said, well, find
because of you?
Yeah, she said, well, find yourself a Selvin. And I said to myself, don't take it for granted. Don't, because you're smart and intelligent. You should be grinding too, She's capable of it.
Yeah, we're all given this one life.
Girl.
I mean, I can't imagine not wanting to make some sort of difference. And in my case, my last name is Hughes. So first Hughes graduate high school. And my daughters, who can be the first ones to go to college. I don't think I've ever had any law enforcement in the family. So my oldest daughter, she's paving her way.
When is her birthday?
April.
April.
Actually, in about a week. So
That's
she'll be 19 in a week. So she's got about 2 more years as a cadet. But the good thing is the cadets, she doesn't have any kids.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Yeah.
The cadets keep her in that environment. If she were to, she's not working at the cadets yet. I think she has to wait till like August. So.
Yeah.
But
they pay you. It starts you towards your retirement. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
If I would have went in at 17, I would be retiring in the next 3 years.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
35. Already got the grades.
Yeah.
What the hell's up with that?
That woman stressed me out. Yeah. It's funny because my coworker, they was like, "Man, 3 years ago you didn't have that." I was like, "Yeah," but she helped me out too. So I guess vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without my curve. When I met her, I was a mobile mechanic. I was working out of my van. I was answering ads on Craigslist, posting ads on Craigslist, and she never. Sorry if it's. Let it go to voicemail.
Yeah.
Try not to get distracted.
But don't get me wrong. Like I came across some really, really educated women that got PhDs and coming on to me at the university,
it's
and I was
funny.
scared. I'm not gonna lie. I felt intimidated. I felt like.
At one point I decided I want to be an attorney, and, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna the factory had just shut down, and it was before that the girlfriend I told you about, I had a 1 year period where I'm like, I'm gonna take some legal classes, some constitutional law. So I did. I took some. This is at a University of Phoenix and Heald, So I took some classes, but one of my English teachers, we actually ended up dating. And she had brothers. They were all attorneys. Her father was a federal judge, and she was like way higher class than I was, way higher. But I loved her, and she loved me. I had never met her family before, and I was too scared to. I actually ended up breaking it off with her because she had just got accepted to go to medical school in San Francisco, or Berkeley, I think Berkeley. She was, and talking with her was amazing because she was so intelligent. I could actually have good conversations with her. But the intimidation factor was there, and it wasn't going to happen.
This young lady,
it wasn't.
Before her, I was in full uniform. She pulled up on her motorcycle.
Nice.
But then we stopped. But then she came back around, and then I didn't even get it. She was talking to me. She talked to me for a good long while, and it still didn't dawn on me. This girl was trying to talk to me, get my phone number. Come to find out, she's like, she's a PhD, but she's like a therapist or something. So we got to talking on the phone before this one here, and she started telling me about my background before. I was like, oh my goodness, she already know me, right? Like it scared me.
She knew you as in general, or she knew you?
Like I guess from my background, I dealt with abandonment issues, and she started telling me.
Okay, yeah. So she's a therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
and
messing with your head.
And I was just like, oh my goodness, it scared me.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, I kind of backed away from that. I didn't take her out or nothing. I felt like she was like way.
Yeah.
I was just like, what you want from me? I'm just a little, cop, you got a PhD. You can't do nothing with me.
Like, stop playing your mental mind.
Yeah. I mean, she really liked me though. She wanted to.
Dating a Jedi.
Yeah, but she was like, what she said, I got a good father, and I know how a man should treat a woman, and I'm like, I'm not ready for you. I'm nowhere. I need to grow a little bit. Yeah. And I mean, I met a lot of young ladies in college, got architect degrees, and it just scared me a little bit. With her, she's just a good county girl.
Oh.
But helped me a lot,
Yeah.
But that she has a potential to do more? Oh, yeah. I think sometimes she's scared herself.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, Here we are.
And my middle daughter, she has a boyfriend. She's still in high school. She's graduating in a few weeks, or like next month. She has a boyfriend who's I think a few weeks younger than her. But he lives in another town. And the mom, she won't let him do anything,
Mom won't let the young man do?
Yeah, like let him go on dates. Now, I'm not against, my daughter dating.
Yeah.
It's fine. What do you do? I'm not gonna. If I keep them sheltered
Oh yeah, you can't do
all
that.
through school, then one of two things are gonna happen. One, they will never be able to attach to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
or they get attached to the first person that
Oh,
they start dating.
I see what you're saying.
So you got to get a few
Yeah,
relationships out of the
right.
way, and and I already knew this, just from her saying that the mom won't let him go take her out to dinner and stuff like that. I'm like, who's the mom's husband? It's not his dad, is it? She's like, no, it's stepdad. I'm like, he's not father of either of those kids, is he? No. That's what the mom's problem is. Yeah, abandonment issues. She's scared that he's gonna leave. She's Bobby Boucher's mom. That's what she is. You know who Bobby Boucher is? The water boy. That girl's the devil.
Oh man. Yeah, that's all.
Actually, I'm gonna take off the EGR cooler. I'm gonna swap it out. You were saying that while you were accelerating, it was when you were accelerating, it was misfiring then too.
Oh, so I was up here on. As soon as I hit the gas, like hit the gas at first, it go like pum, 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 and then you hit it again, and then it'll go. But then it started doing it, and I was just like, okay, I'm get this.
Okay, yeah, I'll swap out the. I got an EGR cooler, so if you look down into that EGR cooler, you'll see the big ports. It's got little ports on the inside, cleaned. So yeah, I'm gonna take the EGR cooler off and swap it out. Because these you gotta soak for like a day and then pressure wash it out.
Oh, get a clean.
I'm gonna take out yours. You'll see. It's kind of ugly.
Dirty. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot that I brought it out, so it'd be easier to see it.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna from here? You're gonna head back down the road?
Oh yeah, I headed up to Pittsburgh.
What does your wife say about you traveling? Like how do you do that? Because
she's
with time.
such a secure woman.
Yeah.
You know, It's amazing.
That's cool.
She's good. She has no problem with me being gone.
Yeah.
You know, she's got her hands full at home and trying to deal with the distance learning still and everything. She's the one who books my hotels.
It's cool.
You
That's
know?
a team, man.
Yeah. Because I don't like searching hotels.
That's cool.
While I'm driving, so she books them for me. She's got a great family. Great family structure, from where she was brought up. And I always thought she was too good for me. She was in high school. She was like the homecoming queen.
You said she was too good for you.
She was the head cheerleader. At one time, I broke up with her when we first started because I realized, dude, this chick's way too good for me. She's beautiful. I mean, still, she's like stunning. And here I am, just some, former foster kid.
Yeah.
It's
funny. You never forget those roots stuff. You know where you still
yeah.
you say I'm just that's where I come from.
Yeah, and she has not an ounce of insecurity. She knows she can do way better than me, and I know that too. Actually, the first time I met her grandma's 94 years old.
Whoa.
She's German. She was actually a Hitler Youth when she was a kid.
Wow.
Like it's like the German version of the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts here.
Really?
The first time I met her grandma was like we'd been dating for about 2 weeks, and we went to her grandma's house for dinner. And right after dinner, the grandma gave her a hug, goodbye. She said, "You can do better." Whispered into her ear, "You can do better." And not much of a whisper.
Yeah.
And I'm standing right next to her, and I'm like, "You're right. she can do way better."
Oh.
Yeah. She's definitely.
But you love who you love, though, and
Yeah, I don't know how much she loves me. She just saw a lost puppy and she's like, "Aw."
That could be sometimes, yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, want something to fix? There you go.
Good. Fix me up. Well, this woman has fixed me up a lot. I needed it. I might could work, but I needed help in other areas.
Yeah, this is my third wife. I didn't have any. This is my first wife. Thank God. It's funny when I met her. She didn't speak any English, and I didn't speak any Spanish.
Oh, she's Spanish?
Yeah, she's from Tecomán, Colima, which is Colima is a state in Mexico. Tecomán's one of the bigger cities. And I thought she was beautiful. You know, I started talking to her. After about like 5 minutes, she tells me, "You don't speak any English."
How did you do that?
We took her brother with us on our first date. He was bilingual. He was in the army. And it's funny. The more English she learned, the more Spanish I learned.
Do we need to put the tarp up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's a big culture. Easier to open up out here and then slide it in. Take one corner.
This is cool. This is nice, man. You were prepared like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Still a little wet from the last storm. Yeah. Now it's getting a little done. Two spots.
How should we do it?
Yeah, that's do this and pull.
Oh, this is cool, man.
Come a little further back. That'll work.
You got everything, man.
Oh yeah, it's a lot easier. Actually, the canopy helps way more in the summertime.
Oh yeah, because the sun.
Yeah, it gets the back of your neck.
Yeah. Oh.
In the Central Valley, California, it gets up to like 108, 110.
Oh man.
Just kills.
Oh.
Yeah, it should be fine. Go get. I had the EGR cooler.
That's a special woman right there.
That's
Roll down. I was telling him that's a special woman right there to put with my crap.
Hello.
Yeah, I call her.
So you see this EGR cooler. All right. See this EGR cooler? It's kind of dirty on the inside. Way better. So in the middle of the rain right now. Had to put the canopy up. And give the gentleman a nice clean EGR cooler. Alright, I replaced his EGR with one that's already cleaned out. There's really no need to ever buy a new one. You soak them in some Purple Power for about a day. You pressure wash it out. If you don't have a pressure washer, just take it to a car wash. Pay some quarters, pressure wash it out. Make it a lot easier. Not many places sell them. And the ones that do will charge about between $250 and maybe $350. It's too much money just for an EGR cooler. Alright. Now let's put those 12mm nuts back on. All better. See that stud back on? Now we're not going to tighten up any of these. Not going to tighten up the stud or the nut yet until we have it hooked up to the, I'm going to get the battery pack so this phone doesn't die. I see it's about at 12%. Gonna wipe the lens real quick. There we go. Alright, it's charging. It's not gonna die on you now. Just get that stud in there. Put the valve cover on next. Remember, I'm not going to tighten up. I'm not going to tighten these 12s up yet until I have this hooked up with the intake. And keep strain off of that plastic intake. Do the hose again. There we go. Make sure there's nothing in there, no tools, no extra bolts. Make sure, yeah, it's good. Yeah. Pop that down. Starting to look like an engine again. Got all these bolts for the perimeter of it. There we go. Now the 12mm bolts for get the e-jar cooler on this one. This one you can try to tighten up. And the evap line. Easier to use the Milwaukee for that. Go. Actually, I'm going to bring the camera back to the table, move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to clean out the intake. A couple of nice fresh cans. So remember earlier when I started soaking the intake, I put the evap hose in this hole. Now when I come shooting out, all the carbon, all those chunks right there, so it plugs up these smaller ports. So as I spray down to the port, you'll see it coming out. Kind of nasty. So bring the camera up just a little bit. So these are the ports right here. Just not the big ones, the small ones. You're gonna spray into them and watch the chunks start coming out. When you stop seeing the chunks and the brake cleaner or carb cleaner is coming out pretty clean like it is now, then you know it's cleared out. These holes right here, when you're accelerating from a stop sign and you're like between 5 and 20 miles an hour, the engine starts shaking because these holes get plugged up. The throttle, these 4 larger ports aren't even being used. The air for the air fuel mixture is coming through these small ports because that's when the EGR is opening. Sure everything's there, nice, not forgetting anything. Call back in a bit. When you're putting the intake on, don't forget to hook up that PCV valve. That matters. The engine won't run more than 3 or 5 seconds. Let's do the cooling lines. The hose pliers, duck bill. Hose clamps on. There we go. Time to hook up EGR pipe to the side of the intake. Not going to tighten it up yet. First we're going to bolt on the intake. Get 3 bolts and 2 nuts. Yep, just as I thought. Got 12mm nut that fell on the floor back here. Right back. Now we can finish tightening up the EGR cooler and all the bolts for it. Go one more bolt on the exhaust. Don't forget that 14mm bolt down the bottom. Take a look at my back fat. Don't worry, I'll respond to your calls. I'm gonna go from the bottom. I'm not that tall. There we go. Okay, exhaust is done. Do the engine mount. Move this tank out of the way. First, gonna put the 3 bolts in, 3 shorter bolts. Foot-pounds is about 10 ooga-doogas. Tighten up that stud. Use the stud to lift the engine back up. There we go. Now I can put the tank back. So I'm doing all the 10mm bolts on that. They're in here somewhere. Prius. Okay, got the tank tight. Time for the AC bracket. Ground wire. Okay. Now let's drink these wires back over. Start hooking up. You got fuel injector, two more fuel injectors. Wire goes in there. Throttle. AC. Water pump. Knock sensor. Map sensor. EVAP purge. Don't forget the EVAP hose. Go behind that. There we go. EGR. Engine coolant temp. Cam sensor. I'll put those ground wires back on. One more bolt for the wire harness. This roll. All right, time to go down south. And let's see. I'm gonna lower this one. It's a little Walmart tripod. I'm not much of a YouTube person. It's just.
I'm being held hostage, man.
Yeah, well, women do that. That's why just.
Jeez, man. I'm like, I got a guy out here. This is why I'm talking to him. Well, I'm going upstairs. Just hold the baby for a little bit. I gotta make this. Oh man. I don't want to start.
I don't feel abandoned. It's fine. Now the bolts down here. So remember, water pump bolts are shorter. So make sure you get that one on, then all the other bolts are the same.
Oh, that's the dirty one?
Yeah, look on the inside.
This thing is, I can't even see.
Yeah, try to blow through it without getting dirty, I guess.
Oh man, look, I see. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
A
How
lot
do
of
you get
times-
that stuff out of it?
I soak it in purple power for a day, then I pressure wash it.
Okay.
But the problem with pressure washing it is you get a lot of splashback and I come out looking horrible.
Oh, what?
So what I'll do is I'll just save up about 10 of them. I'll just
Okay,
dunk
do
them
them
all,
all at
then
one time.
pressure wash them all at
It
one
makes sense.
time.
It makes sense to do that than doing one at a. I'm back in business, man, with my Prius, man. I love this car, man.
Well, I don't even know if it'll start. I'm kidding, it'll start.
Say again?
No.
Oh.
I said, I don't even know if it'll start.
Oh, it'll start. I have faith in you. Man, it's a lot of gook on this thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, oil leaks taken care of now, so that's good.
I appreciate it.
Where's that bouncer here? All right. Now the bolt for the harmonic bouncer. I still got to change the plugs.
Run to Walmart and you drain the oil too? You run to Walmart and get some new oil, or
I have one. Oh. Yeah, I have
one stock everything.
Keep oil. Cool. And next, spark plugs.
You're gonna have me getting out of here in enough time to go to part-time.
What's part time?
Oh, I do. That's my extra secondary work, man.
What do you do there?
You know, you know how much it pays me to be in Walmart?
No.
$36,000.
How much?
36.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
You ask her. I be in Walmart. I have a schedule, so I just that's what I do. So before I was working at Walmart. Oh. Before I was at working at the housing complex, and the guy from Baltimore County, he has all these contracts for Walmart. And he goes, how much you getting paid here? I said 29. He said, oh, I got Walmart contracts. He said, come work for me. Remember, just like that.
What do you do there?
Security. You'll see me, like, if you come through 7 right now, from 3 to 8, that's my schedule. I'm there Monday through Friday. And then weekends I work, so I do like 120 hours a month at Walmart.
I mean, what happened?
What happens?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I know it's Walmart, but I also know that, like,
Let me show you some. Well, I didn't take pictures of anybody's bodies, but I had a shooting in Walmart where I was in this Golden Ring Walmart.
oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm thinking, like, you're checking receipts, you know?
I'm standing at the front door making sure nobody. Their thing is, as long as nobody comes in Walmart and shoot up the place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Dude, I'm thinking Walmart.
Yeah, that's over there. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's where the money comes from.
Yeah, people like, I need to show you my receipt. You're like,
Yeah. But then too, like, you got the loss prevention guys. They'll come in there at the front door, like, we're about to stop somebody, and then we just follow them back there. They do their spill, and that's it.
Usually, but most times it's just simple.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how it's like in Baltimore. I just
I'm about to show you a video.
Oh, it's from a cam or from a phone?
I'm about to show. You can see me.
Is it from a cam or
Somebody had me on Facebook or one of them things.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought somebody had the gun on them. Oh, that day was bad. Because I was working the Walmart up there in by the DC line. He needed somebody covered, so I said, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
And thank God we're getting out of that contract because they need to be paying those guys like $50 an hour, and then more than one officer there. It's that bad.
Yeah.
And it's getting summertime too. It's crazy. They run out the door. It's craziness.
I'm not the emergency exit. Huh?
One day, I was just happened to go back to my car to get the food out, and that guy busted through the emergency exit right. It was a crack dude. So I was like trying to chase him back, and he ran through 3 more emergency exits, had a duffel bag.
Ice Cube said, "You ain't catching me."
Yeah. You're not catching. Yeah. So I was just like, huh. I'm glad I got it at this. Let me show you the video. This was bad. Very bad.
Is that a security cam video or?
No, somebody actually on their phone recording us.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah, you about to see it.
Oh, you probably get a lot of that, huh?
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
I don't like to be on TV or on anybody's.
It's funny. I've had like I've been in front of like 15, 20,000 people, fighting, and it's like get my ass kicked half the time. That's funny.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah, let's see.
Say that's the main man. Oh, jeez. What did I do? Oh, there it is. My uniform's totally different. That's just actually security. I mean, puncher. That's me right there.
I love the commentary sometimes. What were you stopping?
So basically, they came to me and they said, "Sullivan, we gotta stop this person." I'm like, "Okay." So this is what she did to me.
Who is this? The lady?
The person that had the belongings. So like a few weeks prior, another officer was working that location, Bladensburg Police Department, and the young man came in there. We looked for hands.
Yeah.
He had his hands he had his hands like this. So the officer already felt it, walked up on him. He had the Glock, right? He was holding it.
No way.
And they walked up on him like this. Took him, got the gun off of him, stolen the gun and everything.
Dang. Like, why?
I said, Rob, I'm not trying to get in no shooting on part time. I don't need this. Because you get in a shoot, it's a problem. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this young lady, this is what she did. As she was walking, I was behind them. And as an officer, I'm behind you. And the loss prevention guy is in front of her. This is what she did. So, she did like this. All I saw was something black.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. My heart. That's what happened.
Let's stick with engines.
and she's lucky. You know why? Because the officer said on the post office.
Did she have anything? Or
she said she's like, I was holding my cell phone. The officer said, you could have been shot.
Yeah.
I had restraint.
Yeah.
And she said it in front of everybody. She was like, I was just holding my gun. And she did like this. Oh my goodness.
Dude.
And now I see how people get shot.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of the officers get scared.
Yeah.
And when she did that, my heart dropped. Oh my God! I said, because remember, I gotta pull out my gun. You already holding it. And she said, "Oh, that was my cell phone. You doing that? Almost got you shot."
Yeah, I see a lot of those.
And you say, and then the public hears, "Oh my God, they had a cell phone." You doing that?
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, you can't. It's just like it. That. I said, I gotta get out of this place. I don't care how much money I pay.
Sometimes whenever
I can work the movie theaters. I'd rather work the movie theaters, than not dealing with that crap.
Sometimes I'll go to like the AutoZone or wherever in Oakland, and it's so bad there. Everything's locked, and like every row is behind gates, and they have an officer, not even security, an officer at the front for an AutoZone. It's like little tiny AutoZone.
Yeah, we got all. Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Yeah. It's moonlighting, and then now they got us. Other guy, he got us on this Moss detail. They pay a lot of money. And they want a Moss detail, like for the Muslims. And they got us out there with with rifles.
Oh.
And they're paying, because they're concerned about somebody coming in and shooting. Have you seen the video? Well, they showed us the
one
video.
in Australia. I've seen
I think that one with the guy
actually playing music and.
Yeah. I thought when I first saw it, I thought it was like a video game.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
this guy, you see his trunk, he was prepped.
That's crazy, man. What, you just shoot people just because?
Yeah.
Regardless of their religious, and then he came back and started shooting headshots.
People, yeah. There's one lady like down the street.
Yeah. I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. It's weird. And then didn't he shoot himself after that?
I don't remember. When I saw that, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't understand some people.
Like you can dislike, but that don't mean it gives you right to go shoot somebody. Like it doesn't.
No. Like you don't get.
And that's why I love what I do, because I feel like I'm gonna stop that threat. Like that's how I look at it. And that's
Well,
how I
you're
feel.
You're the good guy with the gun.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Because how you feel, you just no, we can't have that.
Yeah. Just because you're having a bad day.
And that was my about when he actually went up first. It was like boom, boom. You just shooting like.
Yeah,
And you saw the bodies.
pile of
You
people,
saw
yeah.
bodies. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. But that's what's out here. Like.
Well, that one was Australia, I believe. And it's funny. You can't find that video, I guess.
What you should be able to get your carry concealed with the money and stuff like that.
Not in California. Ain't happening.
Well, I won't be living in California then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. There are bad things about California, especially like just running a business in California is so expensive. It's.
I mean, it's a nice place, but you could go to other. I mean.
Yeah, you go to other states and stuff, but
Like close by.
That's where our family is, my wife's
I
family,
know.
everybody. But once in about 3 years, once our second youngest graduates high school, we're moving up the hill to the Sonora area, and we'll just have. I also have a 6-year-old, and so we're gonna move him up there. Her sister is one of the I guess head counselors in the high school, and her husband's the football coach, and her dad's.
Is that still is that still in California or you?
Yeah.
You don't want to. Because I heard a lot of people say it's so expensive there.
It is. Yeah. Like.
Why so expensive?
Because I don't know. It's scarcity because there's such a large population, and then so when you have like places like the Bay Area, like I live in Manteca, California, and about almost 6 years ago, we bought our house. It was like $340,000, and well, now I think our mortgage is probably like $280 or something like that. But a house down the street, and we have the biggest house in the neighborhood. You know, we have the corner lot, 5-bedroom. It's 2,700 square feet, pool in the backyard, and so a few houses down was like a 4-bedroom home, not as big, 1-story. That just sold for like 510, and so ours is probably would comp at maybe 580, 590. But all that's kind of moot because, in my opinion, over the next in about 6 months or a year, you know how there's the stay order on foreclosures and evictions right now. Yeah. Nobody's getting evicted.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting foreclosed. It doesn't mean they're making the payments. Once that stay order goes, you're going to have a large amount of the population getting evicted.
Okay.
A large amount of population losing their homes. And if you're old enough, you see how the gas prices now?
Yeah.
They shot up.
Yeah, and I know
have you bought any wood at Home Depot lately? The former $10, $11 sheets of plywood, the wafer board, it's now like $54 a sheet.
Whoa.
In just like a 6-month period. So now the value is becoming worth less. Not worthless, but the value is going down. This situation in the housing market is just obscene. The prices are obscene. I don't know how it is out here, but it all goes up pretty much at the same time. So this is 2006, 2007 all over again.
Yeah. Okay, same thing.
So in about 6 or 7 months, 6 months to 12 months, that mixed with people out of work, people refusing to work, and the value of the dollar going down. The last time they gave out stimuluses, 2007, it was followed quickly by a recession. That's what you do with the stimulus. That's the purpose of the stimulus, is to keep you out of a recession. The problem with the stimulus is it puts more money in the economy. You know, the United States government actually prints money. It's not based on the dollar anymore. It's not based on it's not based on gold anymore. The reason why we're sent, like when you hear about how we sent $150 billion to Iran, our dollar is good there. It's no longer money, it's actually a currency which requires movement. If, let's say you're Iran, you take dollars, you're using a lot of dollars, but over a period of time, dollars are leaving your country, you know?
Okay.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to create your own currency again.
Yeah.
You're going to start using more of your own currency, not more of the dollars. Well, we don't want that. Us as the United States, we don't want that. we want our dollar to still be good. We want to make sure you still take dollars.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
true.
we're going to just send you. We can print it out. It's the cost of paper.
Yeah.
We're going to print it out. We're going to send you 150 billion. So now we inject our money into your economy. Now
Okay.
you value our money again.
Okay, I see.
It's not because we're losing money and sending it overseas. It's we're making sure that the overseas still keeps our money. When Gaddafi took us, went off the dollar, what did we do? We overthrew his government. Remember that? Gaddafi, the video of him getting a knife up his ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, we overthrew his government. Saddam Hussein stopped accepting the dollars. Because
mess up.
oil, worldwide, oil is based on dollars.
Yes, U.S. dollar, right?
Yeah. I don't care if you're living in Russia or living wherever. If you don't have sanctions and you want to buy oil, you have to pay with U.S. currency. So we keep that power.
Wow, now I see.
Once we see countries running low on dollars, we'll just send them some more money. Yeah, it's easy. The problem is who we're sending. They might be corrupt. $150 billion to Iran might go. 10% of it might go to just 10 families. You know, who cares?
Yeah.
They're just taking our dollars. That leaves us. We're the ones with the printing press. That leaves us on the top of the food chain.
Until somebody decides that they want to flip the script and
So
say,
when people complain, we're sending all our money overseas. We're not really sending. We're
no
just
money.
printing
money.
out.
That's true.
We're just making sure they value our money.
So it's a lie.
Yeah.
Until they decide, we don't want your money. What about China? What if they say we don't want the money? Give us land.
That's one of the biggest issues now. Is now China is starting to become such a world power.
Yeah.
They're gonna. I think they're at the point where now they're making their own contracts with other countries to purchase in their currency, which is either silver, gold, or platinum based, and ours is just based on the full faith and the full faith of the U.S. government.
I don't know about that one.
And that's all because Nixon did that back in '71. Took us off the gold standard and just put us on the dollar standard. So now instead of $1 being worth 1/100th of a gram of gold, $1 is now worth $1.
I wonder where's the gold at anyway.
Yeah, right.
They lead you to believe that.
Yeah.
Or they got it tucked away somewhere.
All right, let's get some.
Oh man.
Robert Kiyosaki is an author.
I know who he is. Yeah. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, he's the one who discusses this in his books. I do a lot of driving. I have a lot of audio.
Oh, books. That's
Yeah. When I start actually reading with my eyes, I get tired. But
well, the list. I love it.
from California to here, I have yet to even listen to one song. All audiobooks.
That's awesome. When I ride, I listen. I can ride in silence because I'm always thinking about something. That's awesome. And she even told me like you do the audiobooks when I'm in Walmart.
It's so easy.
When I'm in Walmart, I got my look. I got my. Of course, I don't want to have my. So I got what I got. I got my little $15 pods I put in to my iPhone, and I'm like listening. I'm like smiling. I see what's going on when we got one, but I'm loving it because I'm getting information. I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
You get bored? No, man, I never get bored. I'm always thinking.
Yeah, it gives me a time to like self-discovery.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love it.
And it matters. Like,
Oh no.
like you know, look at my. Oh, I can't. My playlist is on the phone, but I listen to a lot of Les Brown, a lot of Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar. Lately, a lot of the Tony Robbins, Jordan Peterson. I've listened to his 13 Rules of Life book, and like on Robert Kiyosaki, it was the Rich Dad Poor Dad Guide to Investing,
That's what I want to
before
learn
you
about.
leave your job. Actually, just got my wife into reading Robert Kiyosaki's book. I even got the board game.
I want to learn. I want to learn how to invest because the money is coming in. I just want to know what to do with it.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I knew more.
Yeah.
But as of now, just by those books alone are what made me decide to just get my own shop finally, become incorporated, so I'm paying a lower tax rate than if I was like self-employed.
Gotcha.
Because Robert Kiyosaki talks about job being just over broke, J-O-B.
Just over broke. I'm just punching the clock, yeah, but in order to get those funds,
Yeah. And my wife being a teacher, she was like, I was like, I'm just reading this book. She's like, well, tell me about it. I'm like, I can send you the audiobook. She's like, no, I want a real book.
That's what she said.
Okay. I don't know. I don't do the real books because my free time, I don't have time.
Yeah.
To open up and sit down.
Oh man.
But it's helped guide my life over the past year and a half. I haven't had a chance to go to any seminars because things, everything's just.
I understand.
Crap. And before I put the wheel on and stuff, I'm gonna do the oil coolant, start it up before I put the top on. A lot of people they'll message saying notice I don't even put the bolts on the coils yet.
Oh.
So I can lift the coils up if I need to.
Okay.
Now this is concentrate, so I'm going to add water to this.
Oh, you may get you some water?
Yeah, hold on.
Alright.
Yeah, just enough water to fill the top of that.
Fill it all the way up to the top?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, almost ready to start. Gonna wait for the jumper box. It's looking good. Yeah, battery's dead. Okay, here comes the coolant. Sweet. Yep. You want to get that jumper box?
Yeah.
It's dead. Okay, ready to start. I get to so many of these jumper boxes. It's to the point where I just stopped buying. Because they're only good for
How many
they don't
years?
last forever. For me, they'd look like 2 or 3 months a piece.
Jeez, there you go.
All right. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that rattling sound in the beginning. See, with you had your engine put together for a long period of time before you started it. So the lifters didn't quite. But now you'll hear it. It's gonna sound weird.
I will never do this again. I'm calling you. Did we put more coolant in there?
Right now it's in maintenance mode. And once the temperature starts getting up to like 170, 180, that ticking sound, the lifter will finally set. Oh wow. And it'll go over.
Oh, so that's I'm breathing it right now?
Yeah, that's the current. 1299, 1300, 15 degrees. Oh wow. Yeah, that's a good little computer.
Take the jump box off, or?
Yeah. You are going to need another 12-volt battery for the back.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that battery's going dead?
Oh, it's dead. From running earlier, while you were gone, I pushed the button, I wouldn't get anything.
Oh.
Did you disconnect the 12-volt battery maybe?
No.
No? Then it's just dead.
Okay.
All right.
Will it charge up though?
No. Otherwise, it would have charged at least a little bit while it was running. Because I had it in maintenance mode for a while earlier.
I mean, it was fine, but it was working fine before I let it sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how long has it been sitting?
Maybe a month.
Oh. Well, let's see. Looks like that ticking is starting to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll subside. What's the temp at?
141.
Okay. I love this thing. Yeah. So when you see this,
Yeah.
what's going on here? So you see the cylinder, the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I was a misfire number 1 cylinder, okay, see that number going up?
Yeah.
You're going up more number 3 cylinder. Misfire number 2 cylinder. Saying 1, but you know it's not more than that. Now that you can good way to test out the coils.
Okay. Oh.
To the spark.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to, because the battery's most likely dead. I'm not gonna put the windshield wipers on yet.
Okay.
I'm moving to a box and have you take it for that.
Okay.
Don't turn it off.
Okay.
Because it won't come back on.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
What I want you to do is while you're driving, I want you to kind of like accelerate.
Okay.
Nice and hard from the top until you get that oil pressure up. Sounds like the lifter's already setting. I can just tuck in there. Do that on the passenger seat. Okay. So we're hooked up with Bluetooth right now.
So you do want me to hit the gas?
Yeah, accelerate nice and forcefully. Get that oil pressure and those RPMs up.
All right. I'm gonna take it out there and come back.
All right, man. All right, we're gonna conclude this. Thank you.